Perfect. So, Mayor McDonald, obviously I talked to you yesterday a little bit about how you guys are rebranding the city and some of the things people are saying they want to see at the meeting last month.
Right.
So just start by telling me a little bit about Highland Park's journey, just kind of briefly, for people who aren't as familiar with this community and some of the things it's been through over the years.
Okay, so we've been up, and that was before the late '80s, and the decline started when Chrysler left City of Highland Park, and money started drying up, and people started moving to other areas. So people moved out, and businesses moved out, and so it started to show a decay, and people left their houses abandoned for years. And so we have this big blighted areas that was just devastating to the city. And so, we, as time went on over the years, some small little progress was happening. I can't speak about what happened during previous administrations. There was some, movement, but I can talk about what's happening now. And as we get into 2025, my term started in 2023, and once I got in 2025, we started showing some progress with infrastructure, and now we have demolition going on. And Wayne County has been gracious enough to assist us in getting down those blighted properties that's probably been here since 2000. It could be 1999, whenever it is, many years ago. And so the neighbors were and citizens was very, very upset about the fact that these houses have been here for long periods of time. And like I said, doing negotiations with Wayne County and going back and forth with the help that they're trying to give us, we are finally here. And they have started the demolition process in Highland Park. They're tearing down their properties right now, and next will be properties that is owned by the city. So there's a long list, and then possibly more adding after that. So it's a good thing. We were looking into trying to rebuild Highland Park from the ground up, and this is part of the starting process. If we can get these properties filled and sold off, and somebody want to build houses on it, what's better than that?
I know the city of Detroit obviously has gone through something similar and still are working on it, and it is a huge undertaking. How big of an undertaking is it for you guys here in Highland Park to get all of those blighted properties down and the factories?
It has been a journey. When I say a long journey, it has been a journey because it's very costly, and I think people don't understand how much it costs to tear down a house, because there's a process. There's a capping. You have to cap off water lines. You have to cap off gas lines. You have to make sure that the properties are torn out, and then that the grounds are not contaminated after, and then they have to be filled. So it's a big process. It looks like it shouldn't be nothing, but you just come in with a big construction vehicle and knock it down. But it's more to it than that. So it's been a long process. We are so grateful. We're grateful to see this happening. I know the neighbors, one of the people on this block, he posted a comment on Facebook about how grateful he was to be able, after looking at this property, which was one of his family's homes back a long time ago, but he's just glad that it's tore up, even though it's bittersweet. And that now they can have a clear view to Hamilton. Look at this property right here. This property is going to be prime for development. Now, someone can come in and say, hey, I'd like to buy the property on West Buena Vista and in Highland Park. They can see what the potential is for it. And so that's what we're looking. We're looking to start the development process. We're looking to get things going and growing in Highland Park. We're trying to build the community one house at a time, one block at a time, and bring as many people back to Highland Park as possible. At one time, this city had as many as 50,000 people, and now we're down to like under 10,000. So that's a lot of growing to go, But we can do it if we just stay focused, if we continue to do what we need to do to make sure that Highland Park is back to its days of glory, and people are able to come out here and now look at this beautiful walkable community and say, I want to come to Highland Park.
Yeah, I know a part of what you were saying is the rebranding, the city in motion,
Mm-hmm.
is not only tearing these down, but it's also bringing businesses here. Why is that so important to you as a leader in this community, and what do you think it'll mean for Highland Park to have that?
Okay, so people don't want to come to a city that has nothing. So businesses is important to this city because it brings in it brings people to see what we are capable of doing, what we have to offer. It also brings in a walkable community. Walking through streets and being able to walk in and out of businesses and purchases. It not only helps the city, it helps the business owner. And Highland Park was built on small business owners. Hamilton Avenue right here was called Antique Row back years ago. Antique Row. And all the little businesses that lined up here were small mom and pop shops. We had an Ace Hardware that sat right there. So, you didn't have to leave your neighborhood. So that's what's important, is to be able to build an economy here by putting in money into the businesses that's here, and then bringing people here who say, hey, I think I'm going to check out Highland Park, because now I don't have to go anywhere. I can go to the hardware store, or I can go to the cleaners, or I can go to the restaurant, and I can go and sit down right here in my neighborhood without leaving.
Okay. So right now you guys are in the demolition phase.
Mm-hmm.
Then you'll be in the building phase.
We'll be into getting developers to come in and look at these properties that we have, and we're doing that now because we do have some already that's available. But the more, we're getting them down so that we can have more spaces to develop.
What's your dream for Highland Park? As someone who's leading this community right now, what do you want to see Highland Park in 5 years, 10 years?
5 years, I want to see Highland Park as a place where families can come to live and enjoy, play, work, go to church, everything. Everybody is thriving. Our citizens are having a economic boost. Their home values have increased to, where they can have revenue enough to, if they want to sell them, if they can walk away and retire to, because that's how I'm looking. That's how I'm looking. Like, for my home, I want to be able to, if I don't keep it for generations, I would like to be able to sell it for value. And the more we build, and the more we bring people into the city, and the more people come, the more we can do it.
Has funding been a challenge for you guys to get the ball rolling? I know sometimes that can be a roadblock when it comes to development and things like that, especially for a smaller city like Highland Park.
Well, it has been a challenge, over the years, but right now we have some great partnerships. We have partnerships with the state, we have partnerships with the county, we have partnerships with MEDC, places that we have not had partnerships with before. And so we're working on our business models with people coming in and just seeing what we got. So yes, we're doing the business. We're doing the work. We're just waiting on people to show up to come in and say, hey, I'm ready to build.
Okay, well, the people we talked to earlier today, they sounded like they were very excited to hear about, the city investing and revitalizing, and the business owner we talked to said he's excited to be a part of, the revamp of Highland Park and thinks it'll come back. So what would you want people to know who are not currently a part of this community but may see this story later and want to know more about Highland Park?
Highland Park is the place to be. We're a city in motion, which means we're going to keep moving forward. I compare it to a train. At one point we just had the engine. Now we're connecting all the cars to go with it. And once we finish up the whole train, we're on the tracks. We're moving forward regardless to what people think. Highland Park will be the place to be for your families, for schools, for businesses, for anything that they want to be able to do. Walkable spaces, just come check us out. Don't be afraid to.
Anything else you want people to know about the City in Motion rebrand, about Highland Park in general, about the revitalization efforts, or anything you think I missed?
I think that we covered a lot, but I just want people to have an open mind about Highland Park. the negative things that you hear. Stop listening to what people say and start coming and seeing what you see and what you know for yourself. Come sit down with our CED department, let them tell you exactly what we have going and what we're working on, and come to some of these meetings that we have to get information. And making sure that everything else is going on the way we're supposed to have it going on, I think we'll be